Hello, everyone. Time for another round of Bible trivia. Before we do that, got to get a couple of these corny jokes out of the way. Why wouldn't the team play with the third basketball? Because it was an oddball. Where do electric bills like to go on vacation? Iowa. Iowa. I don't know. Okay. Well, we'll just pretend I didn't use that one. All right. Let's get on to our Bible trivia. This is going to be covering Genesis 31 through 35. First question is this: what did Jacob do when he heard that Laban's sons were accusing him of taking their father's wealth? He confronted them and defended himself. He fled secretly with his family and flocks. He divided his flocks into two camps, or he prayed to God for help. Genesis 31 verses 1 through 2. Okay, verses 1 through 21 is the answer. He fled secretly with his family and flocks. What did Rachel do when she left her father's house? She stole her father's household gods. She kissed her father goodbye. She left a note for her father, or she took her father's blessing. Genesis 31:19 tells us she stole her father's household gods. Question 3: what did Laban do when he found out that Jacob had fled? He pursued him for 7 days and caught up with him at Gilead. He sent his servants to bring him back by force. He cursed him and his descendants, or he ignored him and focused on his sons. Answers found in Genesis 31, verses 22 through 23. He pursued him for 7 days and caught up with him at Gilead. Question 4: what did God do for Jacob when Laban was chasing him? He sent angels to protect him. He spoke to Laban in a dream and warned him not to harm Jacob. He made a covenant with Jacob and promised to bless him. Or is the answer both A and B? I'll read those to you again. He sent angels to protect him. He spoke to Laban in a dream and warned him not to harm Jacob. The answer is found in Genesis 32, verses 1 through 2, and 31, verse 24. And the answer is A and B. Number 5, what did Jacob and Laban do when they met at Gilead? They fought with each other and parted in anger. They reconciled with each other and made a covenant of peace. They ignored each other and went their separate ways. They deceived each other and broke their promises. The answer is found in Genesis 31, verses 25 through 55. They reconciled with each other and made a covenant of peace. Number 6, what did Jacob do when he was about to meet his brother Esau after 20 years? He sent messengers ahead of him with gifts for Esau. He divided his family and flocks into two groups. He prayed to God for deliverance from Esau's wrath. Or is it all of these? Genesis 32, verses 3 through 12 tells us that it is all of these. Number 7, what did Jacob do when he was left alone at night by the ford of Jabbok? He slept and dreamed of a ladder to heaven. He wrestled with the man until daybreak. He crossed the ford with his family and flocks. He built an altar and offered sacrifices to God. The answer is found in Genesis 32, verses 22 through 32. And he wrestled with the man until daybreak. Number 8, what did the man do when he saw that he could not prevail against Jacob? He struck Jacob's hip socket and dislocated it. He blessed Jacob and gave him a new name, Israel. Or he revealed himself as God and disappeared. Or is the answer all of these, all the answers that I just gave? Genesis 32, verse 25 through 30 tells us that it's all of these answers. Number 9, what did Esau do when he saw Jacob coming toward him? He ran to meet him and embraced him. He drew his sword and attacked him. He turned back and avoided him, or he bowed down and honored him. Answers found in Genesis 33 and verse number 4. He ran to meet him and embraced him. And final question, number 10, what did Jacob do when he came to Shechem? He bought a piece of land from the sons of Hamor. He erected an altar and called it El Elohe Israel. or he buried the foreign gods that his household had taken? Answers found in Genesis 33, verses 18 through 20, and chapter 35, verse 2 through 4. And the answer is all of the above. All right. I hope you did well. Let me know how you did down in the comments. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend.